Saints of Compassion and Liberation, Saint Jerome Emiliani and Saint Josephine Bakhita. This reflection is prepared by Father Abe Francis, pastor at St. Jude Church, Grand Rapids, Michigan, USA. Saint Jerome Emiliani, 1486 to 1537, early life and conversion. Saint Jerome Emiliani was born in Venice, Italy. In 1486, he was raised in a noble family and initially pursued a military career. As a young man, he became a soldier and was appointed commander of the Venetian forces at Castel Nuovo. However, in 1511, he was captured and imprisoned during a battle. During his imprisonment, he experienced a profound conversion. He entrusted himself to the intercession of the Blessed Virgin Mary and miraculously escaped. This event marked the beginning of his dedication to serving God and the poor. He went to Treviso, where he publicly dedicated himself to a life of penance and charity, founder of the Clerks Regular of Somasca. After his conversion, Jerome devoted himself to caring for the poor, sick, and especially orphan children, a significant problem in war-torn Italy. In 1532, he founded the Clerks Regular of Somasca, a religious congregation dedicated to education and the care of orphans, poor children, and the sick. His work set the foundation for future religious institutions focused on social and charitable services, works, and spirituality. Jerome believed in providing not just shelter, but also education and religious formation for orphans. His motto was Caritas Christi Urget, thus the love of Christ compels us. His deep trust in divine providence led him to rely on God's grace for his missions. He often traveled through Italy, assisting hospitals, caring for the plague-stricken, and reforming orphanages. Death and canonization. In 1537, during an outbreak of the plague, Jerome contracted the disease while caring for the sick in Somasca, Lombardy, and died shortly after, at the age of 51. He was beatified in 1747 by Pope Benedict XIV and later canonized in 1767 by Pope Clement XIII. He is the patron saint of orphans and abandoned children. Legacy and Feast Day. Saint Jerome Emiliani's work in social welfare and education laid the groundwork for many charitable organizations that followed. His feast day is celebrated on February 8th, the same day as Saint Josephine Bakhita. Saint Josephine Bakhita c. 1869 to 1947, early life and enslavement. Saint Josephine Bakhita was born around 1869 in Darfur, Sudan. At a young age, she was kidnapped by slave traders, forcibly taken from her family, and endured years of harsh slavery. She was so traumatized by her capture that she forgot her birth name. Her captors gave her the name Bakhita, which means fortunate in Arabic, though her early life was anything but fortunate. Throughout her years of enslavement, she was bought and sold multiple times, enduring physical abuse, forced labor, and branding. She was once owned by a Turkish general who had her tattooed and scarred with 114 cuts filled with salt. Freedom and conversion. In 1883, Bakhita was sold to Callisto Lagnani, an Italian consul in Sudan, who treated her with kindness. When the consul returned to Italy, he took Bakhita with him. There, she was placed under the care of the Canossian sisters in Venice. During her time with the sisters, she learned about Christianity and experienced the love of God. In 1890, she was baptized, receiving the name Josephine Margaret Bakhita. She also received confirmation and Holy Communion from Cardinal Giuseppe Sarta, who later became Pope Pius X. Religious life. As a Canossian sister, feeling called to religious life, Bakhita entered the Canossian Daughters of Charity in 1896 and spent the next 50 years serving in the convent. She was known for her humility, kindness, and deep faith. People in Schio, where she lived, lovingly called her Madre Moretta, the Little Black Mother. During World War II, she reassured the fearful townspeople, saying, "Be calm, have faith, God is greater than all of this." Death and canonization. Bakhita suffered from painful illness and paralysis in her later years but remained spiritually joyful. She died on February 8, 1947, whispering, "Madonna, Madonna." As she passed into eternal life, she was beatified by Pope John Paul II in 1992 and canonized as a saint in 2000, becoming the first Sudanese saint, legacy and feast day. Her feast day is February 8th, the same as Saint Jerome Emiliani. She is the patron saint of Sudan, human trafficking victims, and migrants. Her life is a powerful testimony of faith, forgiveness, and God's love despite suffering. Conclusion: both Saint Jerome Emiliani and Saint Josephine Bakhita dedicated their lives to the care of the vulnerable, Jerome to orphans and the poor, and Bakhita to those suffering from slavery and injustice. Their feast day, February 8th, reminds us of the power of faith, conversion, and service to others.